The Rovers still mathematically in the playoff race as they head into the penultimate game this weekend and the final game at Ewood Park. What are we in store? It's the big Valerie Lichfield derby, and it's coming at you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video today. It's all about Blackburn Rovers taking on Watford at Ewood Park. That's right, to keep Blackburn Rovers' slender hopes alive. That's right. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in just a second. Because if you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe and your subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, Championship football, world football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski. That's right. The last game at Ewood Park. Can we say a big thanks to the fans? And of course, close out our campaign with a win. A win is just the start, of course, to keep our hopes alive. We are looking at elsewhere. We're looking at other results, but pure and simple, basic method here. To keep ourselves in with a chance, we have to win this game. What am I talking about? Well, I'll show you in just a second. Of course, big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. So here we go then, guys. Looking forward to the game. Are you? Well, it's actually a bit nice to end the season on a bit of a strong bit of form. I know a lot of we made it difficult on ourselves. That is Blackburn Rovers' way. But hey ho, we're still in it. So let's get into it then, shall we? Have a look at it. Of course, Rovers up against Watford at Ewood Park. Of course, under the microscope, these two sides have played 17 times since the year 2000. 6 wins for Rovers, 8 wins for Watford, and there's been 3 draws between the two sides. Rovers sitting in 9th right now, 3 wins on the spin, unbeaten in the last 4 matches. Up against Watford, 3 defeats on the spin and just 1 win in the last 6. They sit 12th with 56 points compared to our 9th and 62. On the record, we have a 2-0 win against Watford, scoring 23 goals in those 17 matches. Works around about 1.35 goals a game per match, if you know what I mean. Meanwhile, Watford have got a 4-0 on their record. They've got 27 goals scored in those 17 games and 1.59 per goals per match. On average. Take a look then at the old recent run of events. It's not great for Rovers against Watford, both home or away. Over the last 6, Watford have won 3 of them. We have only won twice, and there's been 1 draw between the two sides. No red cards in the last 6. Will that change? I don't know, but there's actually been 7 goals apiece. 13 yellows for Watford and 15 yellows for Rovers. But most importantly, Watford do come into this on the back of that 1-0 win at Vicarage Road earlier in the season. And last year at our place, they did beat us 2-1. Couple of last-minute.com goals to put the win on Watford. But the last 6 at Ewood, still not great. Watford are actually just lost once in the last 4 against us at Ewood Park. So it's a good stomping ground for them. But are we playing them at a good time of the season? You know, they're switched off a little bit. You just don't, our last win was a couple seasons ago, 2-0 winners, Ryan Hedges and Dom Hyam on the score sheet. Both those guys are still there. So hopefully they can roll back the years and get back on the score sheet. Now, if you want to open it up at the last 10, it looks like this again. Look at the green ones here. Rovers, back-to-back games without a win, back-to-back losses against Watford coming into this. If we go even further back over the history of time, it is even Stevens. Now, I'm a little colourblind, so it's very difficult to see this, but it does say 11 wins for Rovers, 11 wins for Watford, and 5 draws. But we do outscore them over the course of those 27 matches, 43 goals to their 41. So that's the microscope tell you. What about the squads right here, right now? The squads look like this. Rovers got a slightly more expensive squad, 54 million euros compared to their 47-ish million euros. We average around about 2 million euros a player compared to the 1.97. They have a younger squad than we do. They have more national team players than we do, more youth national team players and more foreigners. As for the coaches, well, here they are. Big Val up against his old club. Point to prove maybe, but he's coming in here with a 1.68 points per match ratio. And his record against Watford is 50-50. He's won 1, he's lost 1. Up against Tom Cleverley, who's coming into this with a 1.26 point per match ratio, and his record against Rovers is perfect. He's played 1, or he's managed against them once, and he's won it. But let's take a look at the key men here, or the most valuable players on the books. Now, this is a strange one because usually Tyrone Stone is here, and usually his valuation is 5 million euros. It's actually gone up in valuation. That's 6 million euros now. But again, the real takeaway is the contract expiry date is there. So concerning times. Meanwhile, here Caleb Wiley is the most expensive player on the books for Watford. His contract does also expire at the 2025. I think he must be a loanee. I'm not too sure, but he's coming from Atlanta, Georgia, right here where I am, the deepest, darkest Georgia myself. So again, contract expires. Not sure what's going to happen with him. But yeah, it is what it is. These are the squads then. Starting at Rovers, we expect Blastus Toft to remain between the sticks. At the back, it could be Harry Pickering. It could be Callum Britton. It could be Dom Hyam, Danny Barter, of course. That's what we're expecting. Ribeiro has been playing forever, so maybe a chance to rest up, but who knows. Into midfield, maybe Cantwell will return. Forshaw played a few minutes. It's all about getting your minutes under the belt in these final 2 games. And we just did get some news that Dennis and Augustus Cargwell are available for selection. So that adds some attacking numbers, and hopefully we will get to see those, especially Emmanuel Dennis, because Cargwell will return next season, I would imagine. Chance for maybe Dennis to impress in the final couple of games. And who knows? Who bloody knows? Come to me for 1 second. Just imagine if all the permutations work out and we do stumble into those players. We've got Manuel Dennis there, hopefully fit and raring to go to close out the last couple of games. Maybe, he'll suddenly have the potential of at least 2 or 3 more games left, and that might be a difference maker. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is my lineup for this. Of course, I did make this lineup prior to the news that Emmanuel Dennis and Cargbo would be available for some minutes, but I don't think they would start anyway. I think it would be a bench role for them. But anyway, we've got Toff, Britton, Bath, Hyam, Pickering, Travis, Tronstad, Dolan, Cantwell, Hedges, and Ohashi. Pretty much as you were. The only change is Pickering coming in. I've been waiting for him to start. I don't know why he's not been given any minutes, but surely the time is now. Meanwhile, going forward, this is the squad for Watford. We've got Backman in between the sticks, but I think Selvig has been in the goal of late. Again, it's a dead rubber really for Watford. They can't go up, can't go down. They will be in the Championship next season, and it's all about what the plan is. Are they going to keep with Tom Cleverley? What about the players' futures? Who's going to be here next season? Caleb Wiley at the back there, Ryan Andrews. We've got Angelo Abognahor there. Into midfield, the likes of Jojo Chetavadze, the Georgian, Musa Sissoko. They've got some good players here, Tom Ince as well. And again, it has been a bit of a rotated squad of late. Chances for some players to kind of get some minutes as they wrap up the season. So my lineup is like this. We're going to go Selvig, Andrews, Abakankwa, Sirialta, Wiley at the back there. Duwama Jr., Loser, Vata, Delibashu, Ince and Dumbia up top. Some youth, some experience, some international business in there. So no nonsense players to wrap up the season with Watford. These are the key men on both sides of the pitch. The best man, according to SofaScore on the pitch, performance-wise, is Iman Ruza in midfield. Of course, the next best one is Callum Britt with 7.19. Georgie Chavchadze is up there as well with 7.15. And also Matthew Pollock's been pretty solid as well in those top 3 compared to Rovers' Cambridge. So the performances by Rovers are steady. I think if we look at the average ratings, it's very close, 6.89 for Rovers compared to 6.85 for that of Watford. They rank 13th best. We have ranked 9th. They've outscored us by just the 1 goal, but they conceded far more than us. They pick up around about 1.2 goals a game compared to our 1.1. As for ball possession, they outrank us in that department as well, 52.9% ball possession compared to Rovers 49.2. We've kept 15 clean sheets to their 12, and we're better in the air, 50.1% of the duels won, and 50.7% of the duels won in the air compared to their 49.3% of the duels won, 50.2% in the air. So it's close. They have more red cards than we have 6 to our 4. That's of course. But what happens when the ball's in play? How do they play their football? Well, have a little look. Here it is. Rovers, of course, prefer to come down both sides, the left and the right, pretty even Stevens. They're, of course, in possession. They are more often than not found in the defensive third compared to the attacking third. That is pretty much the similar stakes there for Watford. They prefer to be in the defensive third than the front foot there. And again, they do like the left-hand side to the right. When they're firing off some shots here, Rovers, again, pretty even. Stevens by the left and the right, but more often than not down the middle. Watford preferring the left to the right with the shots. And again, 55% are in the 18-yard area compared to Rovers, 59. As for shots received, 18% coming down the left for Rovers, 18% coming down the right for Watford, 59% within the 18-yard box, 55% within the 18-yard box as well for Rovers. As for the goals, this is how they're scored. Rovers scoring 33 through open play, 8 set pieces, 5 counter-attacks, 3 penalties, and 1 own goal. They've conceded 29 through open play, 12, a whopping 12 through set pieces, 3 penalties, and 2 counter-attacks. Watford, though, scoring 29 through open play, 10 set pieces, quite a high number there, 7 penalties, some creative wizards causing some problems, and 4 counter-attacks with 1 OG. They conceded, though, 38 through open play, 15 set pieces, so that's a weakness of theirs, 4 counter-attacks and 1 own goal. So those are the goals and how they're scored. What about Rovers' resume as we wrap up the season? Coming into in good form, of course, 3 wins on the spin, Watford next, and then hopefully we can make that last game something, because otherwise, if we can't make it something, basically we need to win this, and hopefully something goes, a couple of things goes our way, and then this Sheffield United game becomes monumental for Rovers and for the season. As for Watford, they're on the beaches here, and both these 2 games pretty much are on the beach. It means more to us than it does to them, of course. I'm sure they wanted to drag us down here as well into the limbo land where nothing matters. Same with Sheffield Wednesday there. That's definitely play the kids kind of thing. Both teams, there's nothing on the line here. But anyway, that's how the season's going to pan out for both Rovers and Watford. This is the form table. Rovers suddenly, for being rock bottom for a good portion, are the 8th best team in the division, picking up 3 wins on the spin. That's over the last 6. If it was over the last 3, we would be the form team in the division. I'm pretty sure of it. Watford, if you just take the last 3, would be the worst form team in the division. But of course, form is only so much. It is not great on paper when you look at just 1 win in the last 5 at Ewood Park for Rovers compared to Watford's 4 away defeats on the spin. Not good for them at the moment, but hey, just 1 win will do. So what we can expect for the match then. Rovers protecting the lead, attacking on the wing, stealing the ball from the opposition, and aerial duels. Our weaknesses, though, avoiding offside, defending against set pieces, and avoiding fouling in dangerous areas. Our style of play is through balls often. We're quite aggressive, and we do play in our own half. Watford, though, their strengths are counter-attacks, attacking down the wings, and protecting their lead. Their weaknesses, stealing the ball from, stopping opponents from creating chances, defending against attack down the wings, so that kind of cancels us out a little bit. Defending against skillful players, again, hitting us hard there. Defending against counterattacks and set pieces. They're also quite error-prone in avoiding individual errors and avoiding fouling in dangerous areas. Their style of play is possession football, long shots, short passes, through balls often. They come down the left and they do rotate their 11. They also can play quite aggressively. The forecast says Rovers will score from a wing play and there'll be a high number of cards shown. This is, of course, the table as of right now. A couple of games left, or a couple of games extra, and, of course, Watford could have been back in it, but, of course, it's kind of fallen to a whimper at the moment. Rovers now, this is it. The permutations are on the table right now. We are 9th. A win will put us up as high as 7th, a possibility of 7th. Of course, what we do need is basically a Coventry City and a Bristol City loss. And, of course, we'll showcase you what games they have on the table. They are tricky games to play. So it is likely that they will lose. But basically what I'm saying is Rovers need to win this game. If we win this game, I think there's a good chance. It's not certainty. We will know before we even kick off that we have a chance to at least make it go down to the wire. So anyway, and another permutation is the fact that Coventry taking on Luton at Luton. Of course, Luton need to win. They're on a good bit of form right now, back-to-back wins, just 1 defeat in the last 5. Against Coventry side, who are woeful on the road. So if Luton win that game, which is a good chance, that's an early kickoff. So hopefully after that, we'll know that they have lost, which will, of course, will give us a win, hopefully give us a win. And that'll put us into 7th spot with Coventry on 66. Middlesbrough will be taking on Norwich. That's a tricky one. It is at the Riverside. And, of course, they are probably going to win that game. That'll put them on to 66 points. That's what we kind of don't really want. We don't really want Coventry and Borough both to be on 66 and us on 65 because they will play. Because the dream scenario there will be a draw on that final game. If Middlesbrough can suddenly lose that game against Norwich as well, then there's a chance. There is a chance that if Middlesbrough win on the final day to overtake Coventry or at least put them in this position, or draw, then Rovers have a chance again. There is a lot going on. I'm not even talking about Millwall. Millwall could be the complete dark outsider here to come in here and gate cash this party and take the top 6 from all of us. They're going under the radar. No one's talking about them. Everyone's talking about Coventry. Everyone's talking about Borough. Everyone's talking about Bristol City. No one's really giving us hope. Even the Blackburn Rovers fans don't give us hope. I'm just saying there is some hope. And there's also still mathematically a chance for West Brom and Swansea. But realistically, that's definitely not going to happen. They would need some major goal swings to happen. Coventry, in fact, I don't even know. I don't even know if it hurts my head to think about how West Brom or Swansea could do it. But anyway, there is a chance. There is a chance. We'll have a better indication once these games are over. But first and foremost, the paramount factor that needs to be in play is Rovers need to win this game. If we win this game, as huzzah. But of course, hopefully, commentary have already lost before this match takes place to give us extra momentum, extra incentive to bring it down to the wire. So, but the trajectory has suddenly perked up for Rovers. It was down, but suddenly sharp uptick in form. And who knows? Now, these are the games that are happening on the paper. All kicks off tonight. Stoke against Sheffield United. Don't really care about this one. If I'm cherry picking results, I don't know. Maybe I would like Stoke City to win. And I say that I don't really like Stoke City, but if they do beat Sheffield United, maybe their confidence will be low, and they will just go and give a shit on the last game of the season, and then give us a little bit more optimism and more hope. Meanwhile, the early kickoffs, QPR against Burnley. Again, I'd like technically a Burnley victory in this one. I don't really want to say that, but I'm going to say it because that keeps the chance of a title race going down to the wire. They win that game against QPR and Leeds beat Bristol City, which again we want. Then they'll both be on 93 points and they'll go into the final day knowing because there is other games to in factor on the last game. I think Burnley take on a team that's in the mixer there, and we need them to win or something along those lines. We need to make all these little minor details count. So if I'm going to cherry pick the results, Stoke against Sheffield United, I guess I want Stoke victory to make Sheffield United a little bit wounded going into the final game of the season. QPR against Burnley, I kind of want Burnley to win that game so that Burnley are still in the race for the title, because Leeds have to beat Bristol City. That's what I mean down there. Luton Town against Coventry. I want Luton Town to get a massive win. Do it for Kaminski's father, who sadly passed away this week. It gives Luton Town some hope down the foot, puts Coventry in the right old shitter. Sheffield Wednesday against Portsmouth. I don't really give two shits about that one. Preston against Plymouth. I would love a Plymouth Argyle victory on that one. That would be a cherry on the cake. But sorry, folks. Again, little bit of disclaimer. If Luton Town win against Coventry, Plymouth may mathematically be toast. Again, it hurts my head to think about it. I don't know the real ins and outs, but I think it's very unlikely that they will survive. So yeah, hopefully they'll go in it with guns blazing, because if they beat Preston are in the shit, and they'll have to beat Bristol City on the final game of the season. So that's what we want. We want a Plymouth Argyle victory. Oxford against Sunderland. Oxford technically still could go down, but I think it's a long shot, but I do think Oxford will win that game anyway. Borough against Norwich. If we're cherry picking, I want Norwich City to win under Jack Wilshere, to put Middlesbrough in a bit more of a desire on the final game of the season to beat Coventry, to again give us hope. Doable. Cardiff against West Brom. Cardiff are fighting. I guess technically I would like a Cardiff win, but not really don't give two shits really. West Brom, sack Mowbray. I thought it was a harsh call. Millwall against Swansea again. If we're idealistic, just get Millwall out of the equation. Swansea win that game. Hull against Derby. Of course, we want Derby to go down. Yes, we do. So a Hull City win would be absolutely fantastic. But nothing, I repeat, nothing is more necessary than a Blackburn Rovers victory over Watford. That must happen. And of course, to wrap it all up, the weekend on Monday, we have to wait until fucking Monday. Leeds United must beat Bristol City to give us more hope to get into it. If I can back that truck up here a little bit on that graphic of the table, because if Bristol City were to lose, they'll be on 67, and we win, we'll be on 65. So the goal difference is not great. So hopefully Leeds are on fire and they decide to put 4 or 5 past them to really damage that goal difference, and Rovers hopefully win 2-ish nil to boost our own goal difference, of course. Because if we can get to 65 and they're on 67, then a draw or a defeat for Bristol City could open up the chances for Rovers to sneak in without Coventry or Borough's involvement. So, lots of permutations. It does hurt my head, but hey, it's there. We have a chance. It's more doable than you think, but don't get your hopes up. Don't book your tickets. Don't book your hotels until just yet. Of course, the goal scorers, we don't really give two shits about this. We haven't got anyone anywhere near it, but Perot leads the charge with 19 goals. Boris Saints is up there in second. And Josh Brown, the third man, is in 16th with 16 goals. Best assist man is Fellows up there with 13. Murphy's up there with 13 as well. Rodoni Azaz and Solomon. Well, it all comes down to this, though, guys. My prediction for the game. Well, we've been good. We've been on fire. The players have showed up in the last three, and there've been some big games in that. Of course, the win against Luton was massive. We went down to 10 men, so kudos and Ohashi on the score sheet on that one. And the Millwall game at Ewood Park 4-1, we showed up. We delivered a great performance, and that's what we want. I would say out of two of those three results, there was a little bit of a not extra incentive, but a little bit of assistance, of course. Well, not necessarily. Tell the Luton game, we stepped it up. We got the lead down to 10 men and we had to dig deep. The Millwall game, they did have a young keeper and a rookie keeper, so it was a little bit harsh on us to do what we did. The Sunderland game was different. It was, we took the front, we took our chance, it was one shot, one goal, and that was it. Locked up shop. So it does show that we can score goals. We can be defensive at the back. So we've been playing good stuff. It's not been as great as I would hope, but it's definitely a massive turning point in the season. And hopefully we've got 2 games left and we can wrap it up with 6 points, and then the rest will work out for itself. So I'm going to back my boys in. I'm going to back them. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. It's not as big as I hope, but if we can add, if I'm, again, cherry picking, if we can get another 3, I don't want to be greedy. But if we do want realistic chance, or give us an extra opportunity to gate crash these playoffs, we kind of need some more goals in the goal scoring column. I don't think we're going to get many chances at Sheffield United. If we're going to do that, that'll be one of those 1-0 gate crashing jobs sort of stuff. So if ever, this is the game to score the goals. And again, hope that Leeds were in party mode against Bristol City and decide to turn it up on that game. So that is that, guys. 2-0 winners, Rovers, for me to take it to 3 points and just give us a chance. Again, it could all be over realistically Saturday. I think if Coventry win, I think it might be a bridge too far, but we'll wait and see. But hopefully it goes down to the wire. At least give us something to fight for on the last day. But until then, subscribe, smash like. We'll have the watch-alongs, of course, for Watford and Sheffield United, so don't forget to stick around for that one. But until then, I'll see you soon on the other side. But until then, I'm out.